What's up, guys? It's me again. I wanted to share another piece out of my collection, and I'm actually, I think of all the videos so far, this is probably the most excited I've been to share a piece. It's relatively recent acquisition. I got it about, I'd say about a week ago, 10 days ago, and about a week. And this is a piece that I've been looking for a long time, and honestly I thought I'd never get my hands on. But the hunt is the fun part. You never give up on looking for your, your grails, quote grails. I know that word's thrown around a lot, but I think this piece universally would be considered a grail in most serious knife collectors' opinion. I've done a piece, a video early in the history of my channel about the large Arrestor from JBB Knives at a Blount's workshop. And there's many different variations of the Arrestor, different blade steels, but this is, in my opinion, the most beautiful and the most interesting to take a look at. And I consider this a pillar of my collection. This is truly a piece that I really can't see myself letting go of. What we're looking at is, I'm going to take my ring off here because this is one that I don't want to scratch up. What we're looking at here is the Arrestor, and right away you're going to notice the color of the blade. This is probably the rarest of the Arrestors. It's the SM-100 Arrestor, and the blade is what it's all about here. And I wanted to talk about the steel SM-100 because I think it could be, or it is, a revolution in knife making material. First off, I'm not sure exactly how many of these exist, but I know it is a very, very small number. It could be 4 or 5 pieces. And I think the first time I ever saw this piece was on Brian Dunn's YouTube channel, and you should definitely check out his channel because the guy has an absolutely amazing collection. I'll put a link in the description, and you can check it out if you already haven't. I'm sure most of you have. I saw this piece and was immediately struck by, the blade. It's just ridiculous. An amazing, amazing result of heat treat. So SM-100 is a steel that's made by a company called Summit Materials, and the story of the metal is amazing. Yeah, so I'll break it down, but let's go real quick over the stats here. Blade length is about 3.5 inches if you're measuring from here forward. Cutting edge is exactly 3 inches. The overall length is exactly 8 inches. So it's your straightforward Arrestor. A little bit thicker than my normal Arrestor on the titanium slabs. The build quality is absolutely the same. Another masterpiece out of Blount's workshop. I think it's still, this one is running on GTC bearings, and the flipping action is exactly the same as the regular Arrestor. Perfect. This one does have the front swedge. Killer. So Summit Materials has been kind of developing this steel, and the cool part is it's been done with the help of a lot of really famous knife makers. I think they teamed up originally, and this, forgive me if this information is wrong, but this is how I've been told the story, and I'll share it with you. Look, first off, it was Dwayne Dwyer from Strider Knives, worked hand in hand with Summit to come up with the processing of the metal to get it where it is, and it has some crazy features. So let's go over them. The first one is, and this is a quote from NASA, they use the term corrosion proof, And the example they give is that if you dropped it in the ocean, 100 years later you would come back and the metal would look exactly the same as the day you dropped it in. So we're talking 0 rust on this piece. So that is an amazing thing. It basically, from what I understand, combines the corrosion resistance of like titanium with the strength of a high performance steel. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds, but there's a couple other things too. It is non-ferrous, it's non-magnetic. This steel does not react to magnetic fields, or a magnet won't grab it. And the cool part here is one of my other favorite knife makers, Les George, helped with proving that. You know, his background, if you watch my one of my videos on his knives, is as a IED specialist in the military. The guy diffused explosive devices. So when you're handling steel or magnetic substances around explosive devices, magnetism plays a very big part of that. And with Les George's help, they were able to verify and test that this, in fact, is non-magnetic. It gets better. So many of you know Elliot Williamson of Ferrum Forge. He worked with Summit Materials on how to get this crazy blade color. And this golden color, where you see all these different colors imbued into the blade, happens during the heat treat process. And the way I understand it is that during the heat treat process, you introduce a little bit of oxygen. And what happens is you get this gorgeous lightsaber of a color. And guys, I don't know if it's coming across on the camera, but it actually looks like it glows. It is an amazing, amazing looking blade, especially in contrast to like a heavy, heavy, dark acid stonewash that's executed perfectly. When you see this, like, it looks like a flame coming out of the front of the knife. Amazing. The steel is delivered around 30 Rockwell, and after the heat treat, it comes up to about 60. So it's just as good as any high-performance steel out there without being magnetic, being able to get this cool-ass colors like you can with a titanium blade. However, it holds an edge, unlike a titanium blade. It's just kind of the future of blades. You know, you don't have to have this color, but I think knife makers are wise to offer, you know, this kind of coloration on the blade, because I mean, it is just sick. I dig it so much. I mean, to me, this is absolutely a beautiful knife. And you couple that with the craftsmanship of Brad Blount, and those who know me know I'm like the biggest fan of his work, and you get this just the dumbest, stupidest, most awesome thing ever. And you know, everybody who knows me personally knows I carry my knives. This is one that I don't carry often. I will cut with it. I mean, it's obviously some kind of space steel. NASA works with it, so I've used it, and it's awesome. But I just don't want to. I want to keep this one pristine. This is one that is just absolutely gorgeous, and I want to keep it that way. I think it's, you know, this is a collector's piece that almost has a little bit of a, like a cult following behind it. And I just feel truly honored to have it in my collection. A couple other things about the steel. Supposedly, the density of the steel is lower, basically. So NASA, or the testing, calls it, it has a lower coefficient of friction. So essentially, it can cut with less force, meaning it's a slicker type metal. And when you touch it, you actually kind of feel it. It's a strange thing. And I know you can get SM-100 in other pieces from other makers, but this to me is the pinnacle of pieces. I mean, like I said, this is one of the pillars of my collection. I have quite a few knives, but I consider this one to be one of my most, prized possessions. And I truly am honored to have it in my possession and be the caretaker for now. I'll do everything I can to keep it in my collection. Yeah, I had to share it with you guys. This is just amazing. I looked everywhere about, on YouTube about this piece, and I've seen it pop up here and there, but nothing addressing it to the level that I think it needs to be. I mean, this is just gorgeous, guys. Even with the coloration, you look through it, you can see the hand rub on the flats. You can see the grind lines. I hope my camera's picking it up. And behind, if this was in black and white and you weren't looking at this color, at the end of this day, this is another Brad Blount masterpiece. It is truly amazing. And there's a couple cool little things about it too, other than the obvious. Take a look at the flipper tab here. The heat treat has run up onto the flipper tab, and it looks like a flame burning out of the top of the knife, right? Stupid sick. I mean, holy crap. Forgive my voice. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, but I couldn't wait anymore. I had to get this on video and out to you guys. I posted on Instagram the day I got it, and a lot of people shared the same sentiment that I share, that this is truly deserving of the moniker Grail piece. And I got inundated with requests for a video of it, because I think in a photo it's gorgeous, but in action, seeing it moving as a real knife, it's amazing. I think the best way to kind of describe how striking it is the day I received it. I came home, and like a child, I was like, oh my God. And my wife was like, what's going on? And I told her, I got this knife. I've been looking for it for a year, and look at it. And as soon as I flipped the blade, she even was like struck by its beauty, truly. And she thinks my knife hobby is kind of silly, but even a non-knife person was really struck by its beauty. So the question has come up a lot, how did I get it? And I want to take a moment during this video to thank the person that helped me acquire one of my dream knives. And many of you collectors, knife enthusiasts throughout the world know who I'm going to speak about next. Sacco over at Recon One. I'm in Southern California. Sacco's store, Recon One, is also in Southern California. He's at recon1.com. I'll put a link in the description. Sacco is one of the most learned, experienced knife dealers, brokers, hunters around, period. Those with the most beautiful collections undoubtedly have purchased a piece through Sacco at some point, and he's the gentleman that helped me got this. Over time, I consider him a friend now, and I came to him and I told him, if you ever have the opportunity or come across anybody trying to move an SM-100 Arrestor, call me immediately. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll trade knives, whatever. I need to have that in my collection. And without even flinching, it was odd. He didn't laugh or anything. He said, okay, no problem. And this is where it's amazing. Within 2 weeks, I got the call. And in typical awesome Sacco fashion, it wasn't even a call. It was a text message with a video of him holding the knife and flipping it in his store. And I was absolutely blown away. I jumped all over it. He had it to me the next day. And for that, Sacco, I'm truly grateful. Guys, there's a few high quality dealers out there. Sacco is absolutely one of the best. Again, I'll put a link in the description of this video. I recommend visiting his site daily. the knives that he comes across, that he sells, oftentimes are true grails. And you know, when you're dealing with pieces at this level, you need to have someone that you can trust to make sure everything's on the up and up, that the pricing is fair. And I'm not even going to talk about the price of this, guys. You just need to know that Sako will take care of you. And if there is a piece in the world that you are looking for, chances are he can get it for you. He has long time relationship with most makers, and more importantly, long time relationships with the most serious collectors on earth. They know him. Countries around the world, he knows them. So again, enough gushing. Check out Recon 1 every day. You'll be blown away by the level of inventory, the quality of inventory that Sako and his sister Tamara, who works with him, stock, and the level of customer service that he provides to the knife community. He'll be at Blade 2015, as will I, and I recommend, or I encourage you guys to introduce yourselves. And you know, don't think it's only SM-100 Arrestors or, you know, crazy grail pieces. They carry every knife that you could ever want, from zero tolerance all the way to stuff like this, you guys. And I had to share this with you right away. So if you have any questions about this or any of the other videos I've put up, please don't hesitate to ask. Just throw it in the comment section below. Hit me up on the USN or Instagram. You know, my YouTube channel is mindlessmark07, as is my Instagram handle, as is my USN. I'm the same person everywhere. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know I post a lot of pictures of my different pieces. And if you ever see one that you want a video of, just let me know. It'd be my pleasure. Again, I'm stoked that you guys have given me such a warm response to my videos, and I really appreciate it. I love talking about these things. Collecting knives is a real passion for me. And again, thank you for supporting. What you're looking at here again, this is it, the SM-100 Arrestor by Blount, JBB Knives. Thanks for watching. We'll do one quick look at this. I mean, look at this, guys. It's sick. Just sick, right? Like, this is knife porn at its best. Thanks for stopping by and watching. And we'll see you guys soon. Take it easy.